It's really got to be drilled. When we talk about a low single leg,
Okay, we're going to take a look at the middle angle finishes for single leg. Typically, they lead to your feet, so there's only a couple, but there's also some details in here that will keep you from getting extended. So let's take a look. So here we're going to see a super simple middle angle to the feet, just step out finish. So gets the single leg. Again, middle angle is in between the two extremes. So if we split the guy's body in half where this piece would be far side, head on the body right here would be the middle angle, and then more beside or behind the guy would be this backside angle. All right, so those are kind of the three sections from the intro video. We're going to take a look at this middle angle for the rest of the video. So Sajlive hits a single. He is going to drive to his feet. Middle angle typically means to feet, right? Because he's going to have decent, strong head position, and depending on partner's defense, it's going to be the best option to get his finish. So he drives up, shoulder stays in contact, and he continues to try and finish. He's going to take him through the edge. Nice little step out point. Here we see another 2 feet finish. This one gets a little bit of a direction change and then clears his leg, covers on top. So here's Sajlive gets to his leg. We see him kind of moving his knees a little bit. Super important when you're working through your finishes down here. Guy kind of staying in between defense, not really giving up this backside or a cross angle. So Sajlive stays on this middle angle, drives up to his feet, and he's going to direction change the guy right away, which means he's taking a step out and then trying to use his head or shoulder to knock the guy off balance this direction. He's able to get the guy's chest to turn away, which gets weight off of his head, makes this foot even lighter so he can clear it, gets it up to his armpit, covers for his finish. This is another quick example. Technically, he still is on middle angle, but he doesn't hit a knee. But this dump finish here is really nice. So just kind of goes in, snatch single. Again, his head is kind of on this side of the opponent's body. He's not behind or across. So he's going to take a step this way, use his head or shoulder to push the guy backwards, which gets him off balance backwards, or he's got no post because Sajlive has his leg there. Most guys with good balance will turn their chest away to try and stay up, like we see happen right here, which gives Sajlive the space to clear this leg. Clears the leg, catches far leg or hip, and then finishes his quad pod. This is a really good example of how to, not get extended and build up to your feet. So Sajlive shoots in, guy sprawls, hands locked, and we're going to see right here, it's going to be hard to see in this clip, but Sajlive's head is on top of his inside arm. Right, this means when the guy continues to try and sprawl, he's able to use his bicep to not let his head go any further down, right? Which will allow him to not get extended. If your head is between your arms, it can get really tough. You can get way more extended with your head between your arms. So he keeps his head on top of his inside arm. The other thing he's doing is this outside hand is below the knee just barely and keeping the leg moving out this direction. And with that, he's using shoulder and whatever head pressure he can get to push the guy away as well. and that allows him to start to build up to his feet. It also helps that this guy is kind of coming over top on his defense. So as I continue to move, he's able to use the guy's pressure to rotate up to his feet on this middle angle. And here the guy kind of tries to like re-high crotch or switch or something. Sadulayev just drops on it, uses his head pressure, and finishes. So most of the time, the middle angle will lead you to your feet, but this is another option depending on the opponent's defense, like most finishes, that you can do off middle angle. So here we just see him end up mid-lifting or split middle or waterfall position, whatever you want to call it. Also a really good example of not getting extended by putting his eye on his bicep, right? This allows his head to not fall between his arms, which means his arms can only get stretched out so far. If his head's between, his arms get super stretched out. And as soon as your hands start to go behind your head or your elbows start to go behind your head, you lose a ton of power. So here he's able to keep a little bit of strength and continue to move his knees through his finish. And we see partner kind of draped over top here, which is going to allow this mid-lift finish. So he shoots his knee forward and then takes the guy over top. And there's so many options here depending on what the opponent does. We see him keep one leg, attack the guy's hand on his ankle, ends up coming out the back, almost like arm Turk position. Mid-lift, way more dangerous for the defense in freestyle than it is in folk style. At this point, it's kind of a 50-50 position for folk style wrestlers. Guys are getting really good in there. This is the last little clip we'll look at of middle angle. We can start to see some kind of a little more movement going on here that will lead you to other finishes. So hits a single leg. We can almost see where his head comes up and across on this far side, which would be that across angle or all the way in front. And when it does, he almost looks cut back. Right? This gets the guy to adjust his defense. And when he does, it puts him back on this middle angle. And one thing I like here is that Sadulayev is at the knee and at the ankle. This starts to lock the guy's leg out, makes it hard for him to get that leg back. And then another little off balance with his head allows him to create some space to come up to his feet. And then here, dump's a good option. I'm a big fan of any time you can get your head outside and take a double leg. Good option, which is what he does here and just absolutely murders this guy. So you can see how some of this will start to lead into other finishes based on your movement and the opponent's defense, which we'll take a look at in another video.